information, you can share that with Mr. Jeffords and the other commissioners. Because our next historical society meeting until second Thursday in September. We're off to summer months. But I am a member, and I was asked to come speak here, and I get myself in this situation, but I did, just like I did that Veterans Memorial Walk, but that was my idea, not theirs. But anyway, I'd like for you to discuss those questions that I gave you, Herschel, and you can discuss it with Mr. Jeffords. And would like for you and Mr. Jeffords to entertain the idea of coming to speak to the Historical Society about the questions I have given you about the old courthouse and what's going to happen to it. And I got a little bit more insight on the reasons I've been here about some of the answers to them that we would like to be discussed in length and in detail about what's going to happen to the courthouse whenever you build a new courthouse. And we're not really that concerned about the new courthouse, and whether we believe it needs to be built or not, that's irrelevant. What we're concerned about is preserving our history in this county. And that history, that courthouse is 120 years old. It was built in 1902, 1903. We don't believe it needs to be altered in any way, and this is preserved to make it better. And I'm not speaking for the Historical Society as a whole, but I am asking these questions, and maybe we can come back at a later date and not get so much on the agenda tonight, but I know you like a lot of stuff going on. And I was on leave last month, and y'all would call me and ask me if I could come back this month, so it did. But anyway, the questions we wanted to be answered and see where you're at with the courthouse, with the county, and see what your plans are. It'd be more clear if you could speak to the whole Historical Society instead of just to me.
Okay, you got our, it's like a September 8th, second Thursday. September 1st is the first Thursday, I think. September 8th is the second Thursday.
But I'm not trying to single you two out. I want to discuss it.
I'll be glad to address it.
What time? 6 o'clock. We normally go there to eat about 5:30, whatever y'all would come eat and join us, or eat or whatever. The meeting started probably about 6.
Yeah, if there are other questions, I'll be glad to address it.
It's normally Captain Joe's. If there's any changes, we'll let you know. I'll get the president, Jennifer, or let you know. If I don't, somebody will let you know what it is. And everybody's invited. I know Mrs. Keith, and she don't remember me, but I knew Kendall real well, and I think you probably, I know he taught my son. I think you probably did too. But anyway, happy that you're here, and I know that you're going to be replaced, but I'm proud of what you've done while you've been here. It's a hard job to do. I know a lot of the commissioners get criticized for some of the things they do, but you don't know what they do till you get put in their seat, you know. And I commend Herschel for all the work he's done since he's been here, and wish him the best when he leaves, and Mike Roberts both. I thank the Lord all of them. Everybody else on the commissioners and commission and Mr. Ed Jeffords, they've always listened to everything I've had to say, even when Commissioner McCreary came in. He always listened to what I had to say. Mr. Thomas has always been here. He's always been there when I needed to speak to somebody about certain things that I came here for. He always listened. And I appreciate all that. I mean, people don't give you the credit that you deserve. Now, you don't complain about any of your job until you get the seat that you sit in, because you got tough decisions to make. But I appreciate you listening to me, and yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to tell you that at our work session, no commissioner was in favor of not keeping this courthouse. We all.
Well, I would like, all of you invited, not just Herschel and Ed, all of you invited to come to. We'd like for all of you to come. Really would. That'd be nice. But I would like for all of you to get with the chairman and with the county manager and go over the questions. That was just that's my questions. And like I said, I don't represent everybody there. This is just questions I came here with. But I'd like for all of you to discuss it, and then maybe all of you can come answer the questions that we have all of us have.
They're good questions, and I'll address them.
Plus any other questions that
Historical Society. Thank you, Nancy. Appreciate it. Appreciate everything you do.
I just wanted to make another comment.
Yes, ma'am.
The problem about the courthouse is that that was our first work session, and us to learn about what was going on. What they had determined in their research, what the needs were for the community. And, excuse me, been decided without having public input on that. But it was just early in the process, but somehow it got disseminated to the public before we were able to gather all the answers to the questions that we thought that the public was knowing. And so it just kind of got out of hand because the information was put out too quickly. Nothing was trying to be withheld. You just need accurate information, just like a blueprint to build a house. You have to know. You may know you'd like to build a house, but you have to work out all the details. So that's what we were trying to do. And so sometimes I think by putting information out to the public too quickly, people get confused and they can't be certain whether or not they would support it. One thing that people did not understand is that the courthouse building that will create 125 jobs for 3 years. And if you take 125 jobs and multiply it by 2,080, which is how many hours that someone works in a year, times an average $30 times 3 years, that puts back $24,800,000 into the economy. Plus, then that turns over 6 times. And so there could have been a benefit to the community that would have offset the huge cost that now we have so much resistance to that it makes it hard to move forward.
I think
So,
understand.
Well, if maybe the leadership kind of, this historical society meeting, maybe able to bring a lot of them.
Yeah, about some of these things that you're talking about, because people are confused about them, even the historical society.
Anyway, but I did the best.
Thank you for everything you do for us. You know that.
Thank
And I'll be glad to address it. All right, thank you. The next item on the agenda is Dr. Tony Anthony Simmons in reference to Victory Drive.
Hey, all right, good. Thank you. I'm here, thank you so much for letting me talk. I'm here in regards to Victory Road, Victory Drive. Commissioner James has come down there and said it was a rut. It's extremely bad. One of my neighbors here was Kimberly, and my wife, Dr. Cherry, and then Mr. James Sloan, if he would be so kind to allow him to speak along with me, please. He has a better oversight of that road, if you would, please.
Thank y'all for having us. We've been on the road for 10 years, so it's a constant battle. Now it's got to be where it's a pizza delivery driver come down the road and actually slid off the side of the road. It's not a regular ditch, it's probably a 30-foot embankment. And it's tearing the vehicles up. And I mean, my tractor tore up. Everything nowadays, you got the parts that you got to wait on. And that little bit of time in the rain we got, the road's almost impassable. And if we have some kind of emergency down that road, I don't think the ambulance can come down 90% of the time. And you have 7 homes down there. And we just can't keep up with the road. Especially anytime we have wet weather, it's a full-time job. And there's no way anybody living down there working can keep up the road down there. Yes, sir.
Does the bus come down?
No, sir.
Bus
No, sir.
Back to trash trucks.
Trash trucks, and just, so that's,
What the bus could be, what's it, at the end of the road?
I don't have anybody, he's
The
got.
only children are my grandchildren with my daughter and her husband, and that's 12 months old and 3 years old. So eventually, yeah.
Will be some bus.
Right. I mean, we have dirt holes, we've had dirt holes, constantly paying people to come down there. get it finished, it rains, I mean, there's too much, I've been working on roads now for 18 years. There's no way we can do it living down there.
Victory Drive is probably on the road.
Yes, sir. Well, everybody signed, I know now, you don't take roads back over, just, I mean, we have to give a right of way. And I think it's 30 foot from the center of the road, that's how it goes. So everybody's willing to do that if it takes that.
The land, and I don't know if it's still in order. 30 feet is what roads.
Well, I'm sure everybody down there, we get 40. It's done got to a point now, we got to do something or we're not gonna be able to get our homes.
I think the best thing to do, since you brought it to our attention, is, let us assess it and see what the cost would be involved in taking it on and maintaining it. And,
Get the right way.
get it right away,
Everybody's gonna sign that.
then address it.
We've already, I got 2 more signatures to get, and everybody's all right with getting the land. I mean, our land's not gonna be any good if we can't get it.
Right.
It's getting to that point, we're not gonna dig it.
Since it's probably on the road.
We'll have to have some research done and do some assessing and then come back before the board. Mr. Jeffers, would you get with Mr. Asplund, buddy, and see
Yes,
about,
sir. We'll do that.
Take a look
We'll
at
go up there and see if we get the plan up there, find out what we need to do, and we'll make arrangements, and if it's such a desire of the board, we'll bring it back up, and when we're ready, you got all the information, we'll bring it back to you, if you want to accept it, and got all the signatures, we'll move forward.
okay. All right, thank you guys, I appreciate it. All right, next item on the agenda is Ben Robertson, reference to Congress pay and changes in personnel policy.
Hey, I appreciate y'all letting me come up there and talk to y'all. We do have some concerns in our pay, and as you can see, it ain't just me, it ain't just the sheriff's office. There's quite a few employees in here that got concerns about changes y'all made in the personnel policy. I'm sure that when y'all made these changes, y'all had no idea that it was going to cause situations where you had employees that were in the same pay grade and the same pay step in that pay grade that were making 2 different hourly wages. But that's where you at. Basically, what we're wanting to know is, when are you going to fix it? And this isn't nothing new. This ain't something that just popped up. Y'all may have just been made aware of it, because I don't know if y'all even knew about it until I made y'all aware of it. But this is something that's been going on since the changes has been made. And instead of whenever you made the changes and go ahead and adjust in whatever pay that should have been adjusted to at that time, it just kind of rolled on. And every year, it changed 1% every year. So depending on when you got your annual evaluation, depending on how much money you got. And it kind of depends. That's the reason we got people making 2 different hourly wages now in the same pay grade and the same step. And it's not just in the sheriff's office. It's just we happen to be the one that noticed it. And it really came about after y'all give us, bumped us up in steps a little bit to try to help our pay situation. And we appreciate that. So don't take this as something that we don't appreciate. Yeah.
I guess we're being punished, but,
Yeah. Well, what y'all did was great, but it only brought us about halfway to where we need to be. Just being straight up with you. And, in fact, I even thank Mr. Thomas. Tell y'all we appreciate what y'all done. But basically what happened is we were ignorant until I called Angie and I said, hey, can you give me a 2022 pay grade? We know that they adjusted the pay. We got a 0.5% pay increase. All the county employees got one. When people ask me, hey, what's my pay going to be? Instead of me having to figure it up, I can just look and see. Well, when I looked at it, it was cheaper, or it had dropped. I shouldn't say cheaper, it had dropped than what it was previously. The previous year, it went from $15.32 an hour, which was now our starting pay for a deputy, to $15.25 an hour, which was a 0.5% decrease. I actually emailed Angie and them, and I figured it was just a mistake. And then come to find out, it was, give us the increase, but then, we only got a 1.5% increase that year, whereas the previous year, 0.5%. As a matter of fact, I think everybody got 2.5%. So that's where the pay is. And, even Angie, you know, has, you know, I got an email here where she had sent where it explains what the problem is, which was to change.
Based on what I'm hearing, understanding.
It's nothing that we or human resources or